Hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to my shop. Today is August 11th and this is my weekly shop update. So this past Saturday I had a great experience on the Summers Woodworking Show. If you haven't seen that show or if you're not familiar with it, I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. But you should check it out. It's really cool. It's open to anyone who's a woodworker, I guess, or anyone who wants to join the discussion. Basically, it's just a hangout with up to 10 people, just hanging out, talking about a specific topic, at least in the beginning, and then it quickly diverges into just random woodworking talk. It's a lot of fun. I encourage anyone who's interested and is available on a Saturday night to take a look, maybe join the show or at least watch it live. It's a lot of fun. One thing I didn't realize when I first learned about the show was that it's totally open to anyone who wants to join. It is limited to the first 10 people that join just because it's a Google Hangout. But if you're interested and you want to get in on that show, just follow the Summers Woodworking Show Facebook page and there'll be a link there a few minutes before the show starts with a link to jump into the Hangout. So thanks to all the other woodworkers on the show for having me. I had a great time and I hope to do it again. So sometime last week I received a call from a guy that had some walnut logs in his garage that he was looking to get rid of. He asked if I wanted them and of course I said yes. They were 3 feet long, or a little over 3 feet long, and about 15 to 18 inches in diameter, so they're pretty good sized logs. I actually got them into the back of the truck just using a little ramp system. I was able to just roll the logs right up the ramp, put them in the back of the truck and bring them home. And then yesterday, Sunday, I spent part of the afternoon milling up those logs into slabs. And I got one here, and I don't know if I want to pick it up or not because I brought it in here and I thought I was going to die, but let me give it a try. Okay, so here's one of the slabs that I was able to cut. This one here is 12/4 or 3 inches thick, and I think it's like 20 inches wide. Maybe it's 18. Let me see. How wide is this thing? 17 inches wide, 3 feet long, and 3 inches thick. So I got 3 logs from that guy, and I was able to get 9 pieces of wood. I got 7 pieces of 12/4 and 2 pieces of 16/4. I did record the whole process of me doing it. I already got most of it edited. I just have to do a few more final touches to it, and that should be ready to be released probably tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to releasing that because I know you guys will probably be really interested in how I use a chainsaw mill. They're a lot of fun to use. You don't need a big saw to run one. The bigger the saw, basically the faster the cutting. And if you're just doing this for fun, because face it, this is not a very efficient way to make lumber. So if you're just doing this for fun, any size saw will really work. So if you're able to cut it up yourself for, well, not very much. There's a low startup cost with having a saw and the mill itself, but once you have that startup cost there's not really a whole lot of added cost to mill it, maybe a little money for gas, but that's really it. The logs you can usually get for free. Like in this case, some guy just saw an ad on Craigslist that I had for lumber for sale and gave me a call asking if I wanted those logs because he figured that I could use them, and he was right. Alright, so how about in the shop? This was a pretty eventful but uneventful week for me as far as shop time goes. I didn't actually build anything, but I did get back into doing a little more turning and thinking more about cleaning up the shop or getting more organized. So this week I really thought more about cleaning up the shop, getting rid of some scrap lumber, things like that. What I have, I guess it's off camera right now, but I have a lot of bowl blanks in here that are just taking up a lot of space that I want to get turned down into bowls so they can dry and I can make them into actual bowls when they're done. And I also have a lot more bowl blanks outside. I probably have about 50 outside and maybe 15 or 20 in here. And I really want to get through those just so I have more space, especially in here, because I could have a lot more floor space if I didn't have so much wood lying around. And these bowl blanks are a pretty good contributor to my space efficiency. The other thing that I'm working on is getting rid of my scrap offcuts from boards. To do that, I turn all my scrap lumber into cutting boards. So I have a few blanks down here. Is what I do with them is I rip them all down. Any blanks I have that is, well, basically around a foot or longer, I'll rip down and glue them together into blanks. You can have, you know, more than one blank. You can cut strips out of them, and then I'll make end grain cutting boards. So I've made a few this week. One of them is over here. It's a little bit of a smaller one, but with all those different blanks, you get a lot more random pattern. which is pretty cool. It's a little bigger one. Oh, and with the turning, I finished off one bowl. Let me get this slab out of the way. I finished turning one bowl. This is poplar, which is really cool. It's a really cool piece of wood. So I was able to finish turn that. I've had this pretty much done. I just have to do the bottom. I've had that sitting on the shelf for a while now, so I was able to get that one done. Here's another one from that same log. You can see I still have to do the bottom on this one, but you know, similar look. And then I was also able to rough out this walnut bowl. I've had this blank for 3 years now, and I really want to get rid of all these again, so I have that floor space. And then some cooler ones that I had sitting outside. These are some little birch bowls that I turned. Really small. They got some spalting and some discoloration. Well, they are pretty cool. I'm really excited about these ones. And then an even cooler one was this mulberry bowl. Thought this was pretty awesome. This was like some crazy section of the tree that had like 8 limbs coming out of the one spot. So I figured there'd be some pretty cool figure in there, and there is. The other half of this I have over here, just to give you an idea what it used to look like. This is kind of what the bowl blank looked like. You can see there were different limbs coming out from all different directions here. So I figured these would make some pretty cool bowls, and luckily I was right. So just a quick update on the patio. This week nothing too notable, except that we finally got this hydrangea here put back. That was probably the most exciting thing we did. The other thing we did, if we'll go over here, is Lindsay and I spent all Saturday going back and forth to Menards, picking up retaining wall block and then all the patio pavers. We made 7 trips and I had my pickup fully loaded each time. I tried to keep it under 1,500 pounds each trip, usually around 1,450 pounds. But we picked up all this block, all the caps, and then all the paver stones. Oh, there's my pile of wood. Obviously I'm missing one because one's in the shop. But that's what I was able to mill out of those 3 logs. So that's all I have for this week. Thanks as always for watching. If you guys have any questions or comments about anything I talked about today or anything here in my shop, please leave me a comment. I always appreciate those, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next week, happy woodworking.